Hello, people. One of my viewers had a very good idea for a video for this weekend because it's like minus 500 degrees Celsius outside and it's very cold. So I don't want to freeze my ass. So what I wanted to do is respond to one of my viewers who was asking to showcase some of my gear. So I think this to shorten my videos a bit, I'm going to make this into a multiple part series. So I'll talk about my knives, my sleeping system, my kitchen system, you know, what I cook with, and my tools and so on. So I want to start off with my knives because that's exactly what my viewer was asking about. He was asking about this guy. So let's talk about him at last. So these are the four knives that I currently use the most. The most used is my Kabar, indeed. This is my less used. Then it's my Morakniv and my Buck, pretty much also. So let's start with the Morakniv. So this is the Morakniv Companion. So the sheet is kind of a plastic. It's a knife that is made in Sweden, by the way. So that it's in plastic, and as you see, there's nothing to hold it on, but it clips in there. And the way you take it out is you put your thumb here, and then you just pull slowly, and it comes out. And my knives are dirty. I should have washed them before there, but so this is a very basic bushcraft knife, but it's a very popular one. The only defect this knife has, but it's very correctable, is the blunt edge of the knife, the top edge here. When you get it, it's roundish. So when you want to use a fire steel with this, it's very bad. So you have to scrape it down to a 90 degrees, and then once you can peel some of your nails off, then you're good to go. So just to give you an idea, I'll show you my so in the goal of not putting fire to my carpet, I'm going to use this little plywood. So the default didn't have any edge, but then I put the edge on the opposite side like that, because going down like that, I find it's more awkward. But just going down like this now, see, I have a good edge. By the way, this is a new fire steel I got. I thought it was much longer than that, but look how fat it is. It's half an inch. But we'll get on that another day. So now you see that I corrected this very easy. The edge on it when you get it is pretty decent too, but I made this razor cut now. So this is a nice knife, because what's fun about this knife is, first, it's a full tang. You don't see it, but it's a full blade, and the cutting edge goes all the way down to the end, and that's really fun, especially when you're doing what's called feather sticks. So when you're cutting down to make feather sticks, it's fun to have that knife that goes down there. And I'll show you why I don't like the Buck to do that. So this is a very good knife, and it's a cheap knife. We're talking about like 30 bucks for a little knife like that. So and all these knives that I'm showcasing, I'm going to put them in the link description below with my affiliate link to Amazon. So if you click on that link and you purchase that knife, I actually get a little percentage of that. So it's a nice way to encourage the channel. But I'm not begging or anything. I'm just it's just your way of saying thank you for showing you that. So this is a classical Buck knife. It's the Buck 119. It's a very old design, and very, 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 very popular knife for hunters. And the good thing of this knife, it's a very durable knife. The only thing I don't like is this here. See, when you try to do some feather sticks with that, it doesn't work well. Also, for to do battening or whatever, when you want to cut wood with a knife, it's not the best knife to do that, but it's very comfortable in the hand. So if you wanna, I guess, cut stuff, cut a lot of rope and stuff like that, it's a good knife to have around. But for an all, it's not a good all arounder, I find. But it's a knife I got a long time ago, and I kept it just because I'm nostalgic. But I didn't really use it, as you see. This here is not my bushcraft knife, but it's a knife I really, really adore. It's made by a company called Cold Steel. So it's a carbon steel knife, and this is really a killer. This is the Cold Steel OSS, and it has a little brother called the OSI. The difference between the OSS and the OSI is the OSS is double edge. So this means it's cut here and it's cut there. And as you see, the knife is really this is a killing knife. So this is my shitheads defense scenario knife. So it's the OSS. It's made out of AUS8A steel, and it's really a good knife. But you know, like if you fall into a situation that you must defend yourself against a beast in the bush or something, this is really nice to have because it's a perfect knife for stabbing. And this little edge that is here, why that is there is that once you start stabbing something, like you're stabbing a wolf or something like that that's attacking you, well, your knife will get full of blood very fast. And the worst thing that can happen is that you actually puncture the beast and you pull out because your hands are slippery, the knife stays there. So this little edge is there to keep that grip all the time. So it goes into your hand and it stays there. So this is really more adequate for a shit hits the fan scenario. And the way it's made, it's really easy to hook onto a backpack with these straps on each side. So you can put it on the strap of your backpack and it's right there. You know, you can leave it unzipped even because it's not coming out. You really have to pull it out. And once you pull it out, then you're ready to fight. So this is the Cold Steel OSS. Really a cool knife. And there's a video about a guy that saved his father's life with a knife like that, with an ox that was charging his dad, and he actually stabbed the ox in the neck with that several times, and it just collapsed because this can do a lot of damage. So, like I said, not much the bushcraft knife, but a very good shit hits the fan scenario knife. And now this is my elder knife. This is a big knife. This is made by a company called Kabar, and it's the Kabar 1277. And as you see, I've been using that for many years. You can see that all this, the paint on it is coming off, and that's from battening. I did a lot of that with that, because look at the thickness of that blade. It's really thick. I don't know if you can see that well, but it's really a thick blade. You know, you compare it to something like the Morakniv, you know, look at that. You know, you can just see it's a much bigger knife. But it's not a knife it's a really heavy knife. What I adore of that knife, I use it as a knife slash machete. The only thing of this knife that is not comfortable, you know, like it's pretty big to do this, but like you see it's really got a good edge, so you can scratch all day and you're gonna get it. But it's a huge knife, so if you're near fire, you're just gonna make a mess with a big knife like that. The advantage of a big knife like that, it's an all-arounder. I use that as a machete. I use that as a to do bottoning. I use that to carve. I use that to do anything. And what's fun is this little edge here. I usually just pinch it like that, and then I can swing when I'm cutting off some branches on a log. So if I want to debranch a log, this thing is a beast for that. Unfortunately, it's a discontinued knife because I've had that for over 10 years now. So this is a discontinued knife, but it's really this is my favorite knife, and I'm a big guy, so for me it's a nice fit. By example, to do feather sticks, this is bullshit. It's just way too encumbersome for that. But it's not the purpose of this knife. But I never go in the bush without it. That's always strapped to my side, and this is my everything go-to knife. So that's my all-arounder, I call. because it's able to. I can go in the bush without an axe, and I still can do a lot of with only that. So that in my saw, I could survive for a long time in the bush. So I've linked a replacement for this, which is the Bowie something. I don't know. It's the only Kabar knife that it will be in the description. That's what replaced this knife. The new Kabar has a more modern look to the thing, but the blade is almost the same. The only thing they corrected on the blade is the edge. You'll see that it's more of a, I think it's called a Scandinavian, whatever, Scandinavian edge or something like that. It's more like a triangle, and the reason for that is that you could chip the edge if you're trying to, you know. I don't stab my knife for the fun of it. Sometimes I'll stab it to hold it there, but like this knife is extremely durable, and I've never was able to chip it, and I've abused this knife, man. I can tell you that. So these are most of my knives. That's 4 of my knives. I have a bunch of other ones, but apart from knives, in my pack I'll always also carry a multi-tool, but I'll cover that when I show you my tools in another video. So like I said, this is the Morakniv, the Cold Steel OSS, the Buck 119, and the good old Kabar 1277. 77 or 47? 77, that's it. The 1277. So these are my 4 big knives. So I hope you enjoyed this video. It was just a quick video to show you what I use mostly, and I recommend every one of these, especially this little guy. For somebody that's starting off, you're not going to regret the Morakniv. The companion is a really nice. It's made in Sweden. It's really durable, and it's a good little knife for everything. So if you've got an axe on you, and you got a saw and so on, this is a nice knife to have, because that's also always on my belt. Else, a big knife like that, to me, that's a nice all-arounder. So I hope this was informative, and I thank you for watching. So please subscribe, please like, please share, and I'll see you guys later. Are you still there? I won't cut myself.